Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time you view in this video. And today is Thursday, April the 16th, year 2026. Reason for this video is, and I said on my journey through life, I will try to record as much information about my journey I can. But I had to come and put this down and let it be noticed and heard, and maybe it can help someone. This is not a downer for me. I have a voice, and I'm going to lift this voice and let it be heard. I may stumble across a few words, but you will get the point by the end of this video. I'm feeling well today. I went out and took care of my business, things I needed to take care of. It's called life. You have to stay. You have to stay on what you need to take care of. But anyway, I'm rambling now, and I don't want to ramble. I want to get this video done within maybe less than 30 minutes. Okay. On Tuesday, April the 14th, year 2026, I had an appointment with the ophthalmologist. I don't want to get into all of that, but I had to go and see the doctor. Okay, I was there. The appointment it lasted for maybe 40 minutes, somewhere around there. When I got there, they took my temperature and all that. They do their, the readings of your blood pressure and everything. And the doctor, I waited to see the doctor for the issue I was there for. I had a hand problem. I broke my phone last month, and it shattered. That was the reason for my visit. It shattered. The phone shattered. I picked it up and scraped the phone. The front of it with the glass shattered, parts of it, and pieces of it inserted into my thumb, and I thought it wasn't major. I didn't think it was a problem until I pressed down and felt the fine pieces of the phone glass that shattered. It didn't bother me. It didn't bother me that much, but it started being so, well, I wouldn't say real painful, but it bothered me. So I made an appointment. Okay, it took about 3 weeks to get to the doctor. Okay, fast forward, I get there and they did x-rays and asked questions, and I told them what happened, when it happened, and all of that. And that was my first time there. That's the hospital I go for other things, but that was the first time that reason I had to be there. But anyway, let me stop rambling and talk about the experience I had. Okay, after the experience, after the visit and everything, and I got my slip with my name and everything on it, discharge slip with my name and everything, and I didn't read it right away. I waited till I got home to read it. So when I went to reading, it says patient, my name, address, date of birth, and all the stuff that usually goes on. It tells what the visit was and all of that. So, okay, and I looked it over, beginning to end. And I'm going to keep the hospital anonymous. I'm not going to say the name of the hospital. This is something I don't want to do right now, but I want to share my experience. I knew something was a little different, and I explained that when I went there to the hospital and being taken care of, and the greetings and with the doctor. I guess it was the nurses or whoever it was that was doing X-rays. But anyway, when I got home, I looked at the paper, and it was filled out everything that what happened and my name and my address. And when I looked, as I'm looking at the paper now, it says right there. I wear glasses, so I have to make sure where it says sex. It's blank there. It don't say F or M. It just says sex, and across from it is blank. And I said, "Oh, this is not my first rodeo." And I'm going to I talk about that. I'll talk about that another time. But I said, "Okay, everything else is filled out. This is not a glitch. This is not an error. This is not a copy machine, because everything else is filled out, and you know it's everything is up to date, and everything is filled out normally, but that wasn't normal, and it bothered me. I said, okay, I know. I think I'm not hallucinating, because I am in my 60s, and I can tell when it comes to me, I'm speaking for me, and someone else needs to hear this. When you go out in the world and doing things you need to take care of, and then something that was a little off, you pick that up. I said, I'm not hallucinating. I could not rest. I said, okay, I know what this is. In so many words, I'm going to say I was discriminated against, low-key discriminated against. Reason is because when you take documents like this at the hospital, when you get a printout of a discharge or something, that right there, I've never seen that on my paperwork. All my other forms and everything, it says F, female. But this particular time, I didn't see this on here, and I said, okay, there's only a few reasons, and I ain't in the operations of anyone's mind. There's only a few reasons why they didn't put that there. One, I'm not new to the hospital. I'm a patient for 4 years. They do know that I am a trans woman, but I've never been at this department here. And this was not a human error. I'm just assuming, and more than likely I'm correct. I said, okay, everything else is okay. I mean, there's no glitch in the system that printed it out, but right there, that it's nothing there. I said, okay, this is either they didn't want to put F or M, knowing that I am a trans woman. They downsized who I am. They didn't respect who I am, so they left it blank. They wasn't prejudice, what it is. They didn't want to respectfully treat me like I said. Other patients, they get these print out as well. Is it blank for them? No, I said that to patients relations. I spoke with patients relations. We had a conversation, and I let the fella, the man, whoever it was, he's in that department. I said, well, this is the matter that I'm speaking on. He said something like, what makes you think that you may have been treated differently? Not exactly his words. I said, well, for one, I have come to the hospital. I'm a patient for 4 years, and the hospital know who I am, know that I'm a trans woman, and uh, I've legally had my everything done properly legally for many years, and all that is in the system. And I explained that to him, patients relations. And so he asked me questions, and I just spoke to him. At the end of the conversation, he said, anything else you want me to? He said they were going to do a investigation. And he called me today. I wasn't here, but he called me today and wanted to have a conversation with me. I think because I said what I said, he said, anything else you want to share with me? I said, I have appointments coming up. And in a respectful way, I said, if anything similar to this happened to me on my other appointments, I will take further legal actions. So he got back, and I'm going to say this. This ain't the first time I had issues. I'm not saying at this hospital, but I had other issues as well at different hospitals. And you just cannot keep quiet. Me personally, I can't. Because if you stay silent, you may feel like so much is against you. You cannot stay silent, because if you do, it will continue to happen. And any time that I went through something like this, and I don't often do, most of the time when I go out and take care of business, I have no negative bad reports. But in a professional world, and I haven't had many bad experiences, I have had some, you would think that, and then they would say, it has to be training. I hear that all the time. And I'm like, what do you mean? I'm saying it to myself, how much training if you're dealing with public or different walks of life? And I just don't understand, why is it that when a case or a situation like this come up, who you're speaking to, they will say to you, we're going to see where the training, something they'll say, if it need better training and stuff like that. But anyway, I ain't gonna babble off and all to that. I want this to be in my documentary, everything through my journey on my channel here, the things, not just bad things, things I went through, are going through, and haven't faced yet. I wanted to have this down and speak on it, so those that may have went through something like myself in life period, been discriminated against, and feel that your voice cannot be heard. That was a bad day for me. And then they make it seem as if you are hallucinated. It ain't what it really is when you yourself went through it and you know what it is. Because I'm in my 60s, and I've faced some things in life, discrimination I'm speaking, not all the time, but I have. And I wanted to talk to the people and let the people know. It bothered me. We have feelings, good. Sometimes we feel good when whatever affects us. If it's something positive, we feel good. If it's something negative, we feel bad. We're human, so we cannot say that didn't bother me. We are human. Only thing, you have a heart, so you feel things. My message is, you can't give up. You cannot go through life silent when you've been mistreated. If you go through life silent when you're being mistreated, you don't have the power. You're giving the power to those who have mistreated you, and that ain't who I am. So I'm letting you know, whoever listens to this, you may have something similar situation, and you may have something different in something, a struggle or something, when it comes to being discriminated against, you feel that you can't get back up. As Donnie McCorkle says, we fall down. I said, I may have fell down and felt bad well, after I looked at this paper and saw that, but I got to get back up. I got to let my voice be heard. I got to speak with someone about this. I cannot stay hush hush with this situation. So I called the number, the front desk, wherever it was, and I said, I want to make sure I get to the right department. I want to file a complaint. I didn't say discriminate. I want to file a complaint. I think that's the take in with your appointments, whatever. So they gave me the number and then they directed me over to patients relations. And I called and I talked with the intake person. It was a lady. I explained to her. She put the information down. So the next day, she said someone would be calling me within 2 business days. The next day, I don't know, the man, he works in patient's relations. He called me and I explained to him what happened. And I said, I don't want special treatment, just equal treatment. I let that be clear. Equal treatment. And I'm going to say this. I have went to other hospitals. There is no, everywhere you go, I guess I'm going to say it like this. If you want to remove and try to find a hospital, anywhere, job or whatever, if you have issues where you've been mistreated or discriminated, and you pick up and go elsewhere, there's no way. What I'm saying is you have to fight your battles for yourself. You cannot just leave one job and go to another and think that it's going to be okay and you won't have those same issues. I said that with this hospital. I left certain other hospitals and in my environment, and still there was issues. So my suggestion or advice is you have to, where you are in life, you have to speak out and let it be heard. And whoever's in charge, you have to let them know that it did happen. I'm not hallucinating. I see what I see is in writing here. I have a document. And when I said to the patient relations, I said to him, I said, I have other appointments coming up. I do. And if something like this happened again, I'm going to take further legal actions. I left it at that. So you cannot not let life tear you down. It's too many details for me to go into. You have to be your own advocate. That's what I'm saying, because you know yourself better than others. You have to stand up and be the soldier that you are, even if you are. One can fight just as much as 100. Your voice can be heard. If it gets to the right source, you will win the battle. You will defeat that evil against you. I'm saying that somebody needs to hear this. That's one reason why I started this channel. Not point out everything that happened against me and I'm the victim. No, I started this channel to let one know that's going through something, you are a conqueror. And let no one take that from you. You have the power. You just got to make sure it is done in the correct way where it would not harm you. So I made the first step. And I'm just, that's what this channel is about. You have to be your own power. You cannot let life take your power away from you. You're stronger than you ever know, darling. Someone needs to hear this, and I needed to talk about this because someone You may be going through something right now. You may feel that all hope is gone. I have felt that way. But something deep inside in me said, fight, fight, fight. You have a voice. You cannot stay silent. With everything going on in the world, nobody can tell your story like yourself. That's why I'm talking to individuals. This happened to me on Tuesday, April the 14th, year 2026. That was experience, and this is not new to me. Back in my earlier years, I would have just not said anything. I would have stayed powerless. Now I'm more experienced and know how to deal with things and make sure that I am power, not powerless. I have a voice, and silence get you nowhere. And I did the right thing. So I wanted to talk with someone about this. I did. So I just wanted to share that with everyone is listening, and anyone is going through something. The key to it, I'm sure you probably know that, but we're human. Sometimes we get tired, we get weak. We feel all hope may be gone. Sometimes we feel that our voice sometimes won't be heard. That's not true. That's why I'm reaching out to those of you, letting you know that I'm a strong individual and I'm never going to give up as long as I got breath in my body. And as long as I come here and talk with the people and let you know. So there's some good things in my life happening as well, but I can't tell the whole story. All these many years I've been around, I can share the most touching ones or the more important ones. Everything that happened to me in my life is I can't share it here on the channel, but I'm an advocate, and that's part of what I do is I talk with people and let people know what I have been through, what I'm going through, whether it's good or bad, and what's in the future for me. We can't know what's in the future for us, but we can make plans and things like that. But that was a bad experience for me. We have to let the people know that deal with the public or come in for services like the hospitals and professional places, and there are bad apples in there. We have to point it out, because if we don't, more will migrate, more will there will be more additions of negativity of people in like what's going on with the country. I don't want to get into all of that, but I'm going to end this video on a good note. Thank you for those of you that are listening, and for those of you that may be going through something. You have the power. Don't say something about it. Don't stay silent. And if you feel that you need some support, reach out to someone that you can trust, and someone that you know is is for you than against you. That are someone that's going to support you. If something happened to you on your job or wherever, you make sure it's documented and you talk with someone. That's very important. Now I have to go, and I got things I need to do, and I will be coming back with more videos, good, bad, indifference, my life journey. You all have a good day on this Thursday evening, that is. Thank you for stopping by.